the hardest working man in the tennis business, hands down. I'm your host, Good Energy. Welcome to Tennis in a Minute. You know what it is. We're taking a look at Lin Zhu from China, and she had something in her eye because that's Lulu Sanfu. She gets the victory, two tie breaks. And look, the difference maker watching this match was just the left cross court. Lin Zhu could not get to it. Lulu's son, she's on a very impressive run here, ladies and gentlemen. She took out Queen Win. She takes out another amazing shot maker here, and she advances. She's going to have to take on the hometown favorite, Emma Raducanu. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about Emma in a little bit. Lin Zhu had her opportunities, but could not close the door. What about BB on the beat? Yeah, she's yeah, blowing those hands there, trying to keep them dry because Jasmine Polini was working her like a new TikTok dance move or something, front, back, side to side. The athletic ability of Jasmine, aka Little Italy, too darn good. What's next for her? She's gonna take on Maddie Patty. Whoa, that's going to be a good match. Unbelievable. I can't wait to cover that match, guys. Whoa. Emma Navarro. Now, listen, I've said that Emma Navarro is Jessica Pegula 2.0. Watch their games. A lot of similarities. Very, very two technical, two disciplined players, two calm, level headed players, extreme emotional intelligence. You just never see him get mad. I may have seen Emma slam her racket once, okay? Once. And I would have to dig deep to find the footage because it doesn't happen often. She's very calm. Now, I talked about how the last time she faced Diana, she had like, I don't know, 16, 18 breakpoint opportunities and could not close the door. Well, listen, all she has to do is just play a little bit better than how she played last time, and she's going to beat Diana. Diana's had an amazing run, right? She's going to be here for a long time. She's going to be a headache here for a long time, and Emma Navarro gets the victory, guys. We knew that was going to happen. She's going to take on Coco next, battle the Americans. Who could make it to, yeah, the quarterfinal? That's going to be a big matchup, and that's, in my opinion, I think that's the only roadblock Coco has to winning Wimbledon. I don't think anyone on that other side is going to challenge her. The reason why Emma's going to be a tough matchup for Coco is she's young, she's technical, she's strong, she has the shot making ability. If her game plan is going to go to that, north side, right facing left, right facing forehand corner, then she has a shot making ability to where she can attack that if that's going to be the game plan. She has the deep backhand to be able to get balls back and just make Coco hit one more shot. So I think that's going to be a tough match for Coco. I think if Coco gets past Emma, and of course Coco's my pick to win it all, then from there it's just going to get a lot easier. I just don't see, you know, I mean, anything can happen. We all know that, right? This is sports. Someone comes out, they're not feeling well, the other player just taking risks. You know, the tennis gods just letting them do what they need to do. Anything can happen. But Emma Coco, that's going to be a very good matchup, guys. Vamos, Paula Badosa. Now, things got a little chippy in this match. I'm watching this match, and so Paula Badosa, right, she wins the service game. She hits an amazing shot cross court. However, Dasha says, no, I want a review. So Paula Badosa's walking off the court to her bench, right? Changeover. And then she has to go back and she's looking at the screen here like, Dasha, are you serious? You're serious. You're going to call for a review. You know that was in. You know I made it. And I talked about, remember, I posted a video of Alicia Parks, right? So she's serving. Amazing serve. We all know that, right? Led the tour in aces per match last season. And, someone said, that looks like a foot fault. And I'm like, well, it might look like a foot fault from that angle, but, well, the chair umpire didn't call it. The chair umpire is watching the action. Sometimes in tennis, especially tennis, because you got this little green ball, you have to keep the ball inside the lines. And sometimes, depending on the angle where you're viewing it, looks can be deceiving. And this ball, it looks like it's in. However, ladies and gentlemen, it's out by millimeters. And Paula Badosa would go nutty, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to make me go back out and play that point? I won that point. There's something wrong with the review system. Of course there is, because Paula Badosa's big time. However, Dasha is too. Dasha would get the victory there. Now, Carlos Alcaraz and Big Foe, they put on a show, ladies and gentlemen. 5 sets of action. However, Big Foe just ran out of gas. And, when we're talking about the most athletic players on tour, there's not many players that I feel will challenge Carlos Alcaraz the next 5 to 10 years. Big Foe is one of them because he's got the athletic ability, that looping forehand. By the way, what's up with Nick Kyrgios? I mean, does he want to be a podcaster? Does he want to be, an announcer? What is up with Nick Kyrgios? Because he's just throwing shade at everyone. He's talking trash about anyone. I mean, is the knee still banged up? He should be, and I think Rafa said it best. If he, and not exactly in these words, but he said something along the lines of this. If he really just takes the game a little bit more seriously, we will be talking about how many slams he has versus the antics that he's always doing and involved in. Now, I saw Nick several times play, but one time at the U.S. Open, this guy went nutty and just smashed his racket. Oh, my goodness. And he's big time. He is, him and Novak, that exhibition match they had sold out quickly. But this is how big Serena is. Serena Williams had a match, sold the place out, right? U.S. Open, Arthur Ashe, the largest indoor tennis arena in the world, right? Sold the place out. Serena leaves the match, and guess what? Nick is up next. Everyone left. And Nick is big time. So imagine how big time Serena is. But nonetheless, I think that Foe's one of them. Sinner's one of them. These are the players that will challenge Carlos. Other than that, I mean, I think Carlos is going to pass Nadal in terms of slams won. Good match. They put on a show. And what about here, ladies and gentlemen? Diana Yastremska taking on the hard-hitting Dana Vekic. Dana Vekic does what Dana Vekic does, but she's going to... Oh, I'm sorry. Badosa did win. So she ended up winning that match against Dasha. And Vekic is going to take on Dasha. And, I mean, what am I saying? Vekic is going to take on Badosa. That's going to be a good match. If Badosa plays how she's been playing, I think Badosa's going to win that match. Now, she's climbing the rankings as she should. We're seeing a lot of players finally get their form back. And look, it takes a while. When you leave the sport and come back, especially tennis, it's not that easy to find your form. It took Diana several years to get her form back after that suspension, that wrong suspension. By the way, they've been suspending players a lot wrongfully, right? And I'll probably do a video on that sometime soon in the near future. But they got to do something with this testing, because the players that you clearly know are using aren't getting caught. And the players that are getting caught, it's turning out, these are false tests. So, but Paula Badosa's, look, she's back to rank inside the top 100. Congratulations. She'll pick up a few more points if she gets past Vekic, someone she's never faced. Can you believe that? But Vekic comes through here. Too much power for Diana. Diana did have the athletic edge. Her forehand was able to stretch the court. But if Vekic gets under those balls with her backhand, she's going to immediately take control of the rally. And we saw that here. What about Kartal, the hometown favorite? She put up a fight in the first set with Coco. She actually broke Coco. But Jordan fist pumps from Coco as Coco was standing on business, ladies and gentlemen. She comes doing straight sets, and she did it with a bagel. That's right, a bagel in the second set. And Coco just, it seemed like once she got going, and, she talked about being nervous. I've watched Coco forever. I've watched her parents in her box. They've always been in her box. Now her dad walks to camp. But I've watched Coco for so long, since she was so young, and just she has a good support system, from her mom to her grandparents, just every everyone involved in her camp has helped make her the person she is. I think she's a classy, respectful adult. And just hearing Andrea Petrovic just say so many good things about Coco when she plays, it's amazing. Andrea was joking the other day. She's like, yeah, this is her fifth time in the main draw. She's a veteran now. She's only 20. But yeah, great support system. Coco's amazing, guys. She gets a victory here. And again, I've watched her for so long that you have to realize even professionals get nervous, right? She talked about being nervous playing on this court. And like even Iga, if you guys watch Iga, and I say this all the time, we go back to the ATX, actually not the ATX, well, I mean, it was in Texas, the WTA Fort Worth finals. And just seeing Sabalenka just frustrate Iga, and defeat her. Even Iga gets nervous and stressed, right? When we're in the business end of a set and Iga has to serve to stay in it, she gets nervous, guys. She does get nervous. I mean, look at that Osaka match. Look at that Mukova match at the French Open last year. Mukova had the French Open title and blew it. That was crazy. But Mukova's back, guys. Hopefully she can get going. But I think as Coco wins, I think it was a good decision by Emma Raducanu to skip the French Open, right? Don't even worry about qualifiers. Go to grass. And she's now your third ranked British player. She passes Mizaki. And the reality here is she's finally got her form. And I just talked about Diana and Paula and how it takes so long to finally get your form back. It's not something that you can just pick up because you have players, they're dealing with nagging injuries. There's a lot of things going on, especially Emma, where she had the big thing after she won the U.S. Open was getting her body adjusted to the main tour schedule, the matches, right? So she felt she needed a coach that had a little bit more experience to help her with the schedule. So she went through, several coaches, and she went back to relationships that she felt comfortable with. And the reality here is Emma is a really good tennis player. We know that, okay? You're not going to come through qualifiers and beat the level of competition that she beat to win the U.S. Open. However, she's faced a lot of criticism, but I always lean back to her point, to her quote. Listen, you could say whatever you want about me, but you can never take away my slam championship. You can't take away what she did. She made history, an amazing athlete, an amazing person, an amazing player, and she's big time for the sport. Guys, she gets the victory here against Sakkari, and what's up with Sakkari? This is a serious question. I may do a poll in the community, but I may not. Will Sakkari ever win a slam? Will she ever win another championship? I mean, remember that Mexico championship she won? Everyone pulled out. You saw the writing on the wall. I'm not going to talk about that too much, but you saw what happened in Mexico. I mean, she took out Carolyn Dolehide. Listen, guys, a Master 1000 event where nobody went to play it. But this match here, I was concerned because Sakkari's got a really good coach. And again, it could be an adjustment period. It's going to take time for them to get on the same page. I felt early on the relationship was amazing. They looked to be on the same page. Sakkari was playing very well. But again, let's take a page from Iga Swiatek's book. I try to stay in form at least 5 times a year. Okay, and simple, Iga saying during the course of a full season, right, 11 months, she likes to be in her best form at least 5 times out of the year, right? So, I mean, how will we break that down? At least every couple months, she likes to be playing her best, right? If you look at it that way. So that means there's going to be weeks, a couple weeks on a schedule where she's not in her best form. So it may take a couple matches to get back her rhythm, her timing, to make sure she's playing at her best. It looks to me like Sakkari, because I mean, before this tournament, she was eliminated the previous three tournaments in the first round. So it looked to me like she lost her form a bit that she had early in the season when she partnered with David. I don't know, but what concerned me with this matchup is that Emma Raducanu was constantly overpowering Sakkari with the forehand. And that we all know Emma's bread and butter is her backhand. To see her overpowering Sakkari with the forehand, and Sakkari has always been a very strong player. That's been her edge over a lot of these younger players, is her power. That concerned me because Emma Raducanu is not only a lot younger, she's a lot less experienced. And the fact that she was able to dictate these rallies with her forehand over Sakkari was concerning. She had Sakkari on the back foot all match long. Sakkari was literally running a track meet out there, and she could not get ahead of the rally. Emma was too fast, and Emma's down the line. Her forehand down the line is looking crazy. That's a shot that I've noticed she's added to her arsenal, and she can make it consistently. She's been making it consistently. She's avoiding these rallies by just going down the line away from her opponent, much like Iga does that. Iga does that a lot, and that's how Iga gets a lot of her points is by the third or fourth shot, Iga's going cross court away from her opponent, and she's hitting winners. And Emma's starting to do that. And Emma's going to be scary, guys, but let's take a quick look at there's rain in Wimbledon on the forecast. It's been horrible. Anna Kalinskaya Ludmila. That's going to be a good match, guys, right? So who's going to make the round of 16? I think that match goes over. Dart and Wong. I think Wong is just going to have a little bit much to edge out Dart, right? Dart is in, she's in the third round here. It's great for the locals, but I think Wong might have a little bit too much power, right? Especially after taking out Pegula. Buzis, Monero, and Kuchikova. Booz is going to have the athletic ability. Barbora gets tired a lot, and that's a match where if Booz pushes the issue, she's going to win games. However, I don't think Booz has a good stamina. I don't think Barbora has a good stamina. Therefore, I'm going to go Barbora to win that match because her shot-making ability, once Booz starts to get tired, should bail her out there. Pera and Ostapenko, I think that match goes under. I don't think that's two hard, strong, aggressive hitters. Someone's going to break and break quick, and that's going to be a very short match. Collins, Beatrice Haddad. Actually, I'm doing a video on that. Why don't we get to that video? Stay tuned. Tennis in a minute. Like the video. Emma Raducanu victorious again. Let's take a look at the stats so for this match though. Let me pivot because I want to let you know how well Emma's playing, guys. Look at that. She's getting her first serves in play just under 80%. Literally 71% of her first serves won. 82% of the second serves won. So, I mean, what she didn't do on the first serve, she made up on the second serve. 4 for 9 on break points. Sakkari did have her opportunities, but it just felt like Emma was in control of this match from the start. So stay tuned, guys. I got some free picks and predictions coming up. Wimbledon SW19 Day 6 is upon us. We'll be back.